On this episode, we've traveled to the geologic and historic wonders that await visitors at Writing-on-Stone Provincial Park in Alberta, Canada. For many visitors, the rock formations have their own mysterious tales, but the heart and soul of these stones lie in the petroglyphs and pictographs made by this land's first inhabitants. These carvings remain a source of pride and culture for First Nations, a place where families attend to this day to explain to their children their deep spiritual connection with the land. Telling the history of Canada's Indigenous people, however, is not easy. By learning the difficult chapters from the past, we inform how the country must treat all people ahead into the future. From Milk River, Alberta, the community nearest to the park, we visited Lethbridge's Fort Whoop-Up to understand its grim heritage and its damaging effect on the First Nations. All right, welcome back to another episode of Traveling with Krushworth. And Lil Lizzie, where are we today?
Well, today we're at Writing-on-Stone Provincial Park.
And we are enjoying the sacred landscape of the Blackfoot people. And this has been a place of high spiritual nature for them for thousands of years. And there are amazing petroglyphs here. And Lil Lizzie, we're off to see some of the rock carvings.
Yes, we are.
And so it's going to be amazing, but we'll say bye for now and we'll show you everything that we're seeing. All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We set off down the Hoodoo Trail, a pathway that snakes through some of Alberta's most unique sandstone cliffs. Ensure you wear a hat and have enough water upon your visit. One must walk the trail when coming to Writing-on-Stone Provincial Park. Don't miss the battle scene, linked to the Retreat Up the Hill battle in 1866, carved in the late 19th century. Our trip coincided with a terrible wildfire season. The sunlight through the smoke cast an orange glow on the rocks. It was a sad sight knowing the heartache of others, but we won't forget it. That evening, a guide transported us into the protected Archaeological Preserve, a section of the provincial park open only to tours. The rock art walk is a memory we both cherish today. Writing on stone, meaning it is written in Blackfoot, is sacred for First Nations people, and visitors have a window into these ancient lives with petroglyphs and pictographs. To those first people and many today, the region is home to ancestor spirits. People first came here 3,500 years ago as this mysterious river valley offered camping spots and spiritualism. Many ancient inhabitants saw these spirits as guides, helping them learn their future. Today's Blackfoot revere the landscape, but it remains a place to respect as it would have been for their forefathers. Some of the carvings or pictographs may be 3 millennium old. Many of them remain uninterpreted, a mystery unknown to us. Yet the one truth is there is an element of magic, carvings from visions, as well as real events affecting early nomads. One tale focuses on the most modern petroglyphs, those of Ford Model T vehicles in the Milk River Valley. Elder Bird Rattle, who described the Retreat Up the Hill battle upon revisiting the park in 1924, shared a deep connection with the stones by carving the vehicle that carried him. We moved on from the spiritual Milk River Valley to Lethbridge and the recreated Fort Whoop-Up in that city's Indian Battle Park, which was an important camping spot for First Nations. The illicit whiskey and buffalo robe trading place, possibly named for one trader whooping it up across the border, was built in 1870 after the first fort was burned to the ground by Blackfoot people. Economic success led to immense interest from American whiskey traders. Vast sums of money had been made by the original proprietors, Healy and Hamilton. With the United States government laying out strict rules prohibiting the trade of alcohol with First Nations groups, whiskey traders seeking riches at any cost poured over the border. Americans traded guns, liquor, and often diseased blankets for sought-after buffalo robes, decimating the first people. One winter claimed 70 Blackfoot lives from drunkenness. A quart of the vile whiskey, often cut with ginger and tobacco juice, could be traded for a horse. Two firms, the I.G. Baker Company and T.C. Power & Bro, heavily backed the damaging trade. One wagon train is said to have had 20,000 buffalo skins heading back to Fort Benton, Montana. A vast empire built on buffalo robes and mass hunting led to the extermination of the buffalo, an animal First Nations people had based their lives around for centuries. Citing the violence against the Blackfoot and other First Nations, as well as economic concerns, Canada formed the Northwest Mounted Police in 1873 under Colonel James MacLeod. American invasion of the future Canadian country remained a viable threat. The Northwest Mounted Police started their famed march, arriving in fall 1874. The fort had been emptied, the traders had fled. The manager, the sole occupant, offered the police dinner. Early police in the Northwest Territories, which would become the country's famed Royal Canadian Mounted Police, went on to bring order and the expansion of the Canadian West. To follow us to Drumheller's Royal Tyrrell Museum, click the link on the left. Or if you'd like to visit Calgary with Lil Lizzie and I, click the video on the right. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.